Good Wednesday to you. I'm Storm Team 9 Meteorologist Patrick Ellis here with your ENC Weather update for this March the 12th, 2014. Watching severe storms, strong to severe storms pushing through portions of eastern Carolina tonight. Tomorrow, a much different story. Sunshine, wind, and cold going to be the main story. And then we're looking ahead towards the St. Patrick's Day system that could be affecting us. We'll detail that all out in the forecast update video. Here's a look at the warnings and watches right now. This is the current watch for the severe thunderstorm watch. 10 p.m. for our I-95 corridor counties and along and north of US 64. Now, we'll tell you this. The National Weather Service has been clearing these out fairly quickly as the storms are rolling through. So give it probably, I'll show you Viper here in just a minute. The storms are now approaching northern portions of Greene County, western Pitt County at this point, and pushing through Wayne and Wilson. So I would not be surprised if our westernmost counties, talking about Nash, out towards Johnston, Franklin counties, Warren counties, would not go ahead and be dropped out of this watch here fairly soon. And the Highway 64 corridor counties, it may be a little while, but you have until 10 p.m. But the I-95 corridor counties should be out of the watch here fairly soon. But we are watching that line of storms approaching us from the west. We have had a report of a fatality back over into Chapel Hill. Trying to get more information on that. From a tree falling on a car earlier on this evening about 6:30. Also, wind advisory currently in effect for the Outer Banks as well as the I-95 corridor. That will continue through midnight tonight, and the Outer Banks advisory will likely go until tomorrow. The winds stay up tonight and going into tomorrow with decreased relative humidity values and decreased dew points. Fire weather watch going to be in place, so elevated fire weather danger tomorrow here across eastern Carolina. Let's go over to Viper, show you what's going on right now, and this is what the current look is as we're doing this update at 8:05 this evening. Most of the precipitation still back off towards the west. We're watching that approaching places like Wilson this evening, and had this in there from the earlier show, but you can kind of see what's going on now, moving through out towards Saratoga and approaching Walstenburg right now, Stantonsburg along Highway 264, also up into Edgecombe County, Pine Tops, Macclesfield, and Caneta. Moving through southern Edgecombe County. Now, northern Nash County along the I-95 corridor, Brattleboro, the Whitakers up towards Enfield along 301, getting slammed right now, and also into Northampton County, near just to the south of Weldon and Garysburg, and moving through Halifax, moving towards Jackson Seaboard, and eventually out towards Rich Square along 125 here. We'll be watching this line kind of evolve and pushing eastward, but it has been falling apart. There's two separate lines basically now, the one down to the south and the one moving through the northern half. But like I said, this is all going to start to calm down here fairly soon. You can kind of see what the precision forecast model is printing. 9 o'clock this evening, pushing through Greenville, through Wayne County, Lenoir County, and pretty much just these little stripes. So we're still going to have some strong storms, maybe some gusty winds upwards of 40 to maybe 50 miles per hour as this line pushes through. That can still put down some trees, and especially with the weak root system that we've got going on right now, thanks to all the recent rainfall. Would not be surprised if we hear a couple of trees snapping tonight, mainly your hardwoods later on this evening. But all this is offshore by midnight, and the temperatures tank behind that. The winds are kicking up behind the front. The latest wind gusts that we saw out of Greensboro, 43 miles per hour. It's currently the current wind gusts right now. Anywhere from about 15 to 20 miles per hour across portions of eastern Carolina. Right now, gusting to 30 at Chapel Hill, 20 at Oxford, 26 right now in Roxborough. So we are watching that line pushing through. 33 mile per hour gusts at the Rocky Mount Wilson Airport, 20 mile per hour gusts here in Greenville. That's going to continue tonight, but the winds are, instead of coming out of the southwest, going to switch around to the northwest, and that's going to drag in that colder air into the region. Tomorrow, we're going to struggle to get out of the low and mid-40s, even with full sunshine, and with the winds, it's just going to make it feel even cooler. Thursday evening, the temperatures tank will likely be in the mid to upper 20s through the overnight hours of your Thursday. Now, the winds, like I said, here's 7 o'clock. We'll fast forward it 1 hour to 9 o'clock. There's your frontal boundary. You see how the winds from the southwest ahead of the front turning westerly behind the front, and then everything really picks up tomorrow. You see that 15, 20, 25 mile per hour winds tomorrow. That's 3 p.m. on Thursday. And with that northwesterly breeze, it's going to make it feel downright raw out there, even with sunshine, but the winds should calm down by the time we head towards Friday. Here's what we got going on as far as the long range is concerned. Everything's offshore tomorrow, and high pressure will be back in here by Friday. Temperatures in the upper 20s to the mid to upper 20s will be in the 50s by the afternoon hours of Friday, mainly sunny skies, and a few clouds build in here by Saturday. I think we'll stay dry for the most part on Saturday, but we will make the mention for maybe a shower. The next system comes into play as we head towards Sunday. See that coming down the pipeline. We'll be watching that. You see that stalled boundary going to be pushing some of the rain showers across the area to start, but really and truly, that's our St. Patrick's Day system in the making. There's a look at the 12Z GFS run, and the run showing a 983 low this evening just off of New York City. Man, oh man, they are getting hammered with snow tonight across the New England states. For us, it's just the rain and wind, and that should be out of here over the next few hours. But the wind's going to stay with us as we head into tonight and going through your day tomorrow as well. As that system lifts out of here. This is the look on tomorrow. Very strong cold air advection in here as the low continues to lift out. High pressure building in, so a very tight pressure gradient. Northerly to northwesterly winds tomorrow, anywhere from 15 to 25 miles per hour. The 540 line well south of us, the 522 line trying to edge in here. So temperatures tomorrow low to mid 40s. It's going to be a struggle to get to the mid 40s tomorrow afternoon, even with full sunshine, and it's going to feel like the 30s through the day, if not the 20s through a good chunk of the day. So bundle up tomorrow if you're heading out to the bus stop, heading out to work, because it's definitely going to be much colder tomorrow than it has been the last several days. I know everybody's been so used to the 70s and 80s. It's going away quickly, and it's going to start tonight, and we'll be in the 30s overnight tonight. Tomorrow, that's when we're talking about the 40s for highs, and it's going to feel like the 20s. Now, I will say this. Now, Friday morning, you're going to wake up and be in the 20s, but at least the winds will die down. High pressure is still in control. The winds will start to go a little bit more lighter as we head through the day on Friday. We should be able to manage mid-50s that afternoon. It looks like the thickness value is coming up enough to be able to manage the mid-50s on Friday. This will be valid on Saturday afternoon. Now, the next thing that we're watching is another system coming down the pipeline. This is going to be our St. Patrick's Day system. You see the flow pattern mainly fairly zonal at this point. Big ridge developing over the western United States again, so dry and warm over here, but more cold air trying to come southward out of Canada as we head towards the weekend. Now, we're going to stay warm here across eastern Carolina on Saturday. We'll make the mention for maybe a shower and high temperatures mid-60s that afternoon. Nice and warm, nice and balmy. But you see that energy already starting to develop surface low over the panhandle of Texas, North Texas. And like I said, the flow pattern off towards the east. And so that's going to be something that we're watching as we head towards next Monday. And here we go on Sunday, and a big low, big ridge, big trough of low pressure, shortwave coming down the pipeline. And like I said, that's coming eastward, but more cold air coming down the pipeline at this point. And that big ridge pumping up into the western half of the United States. So all this energy is going to come eastward. You see some of it already getting pulled eastward. So by Sunday, we're already talking about that chance for showers. The GFS has got us highs in the low 60s on Sunday, and mostly cloudy. A good chance for rain that day. All the cold air stays bottled up to the north. This is the look at the European, same idea, but it has the rain showers further down to the south on Sunday afternoon. Now, we'll fast forward that. It all gets pulled up here by the time we head into the evening hours, so about a difference of about 6 hours or so. But needless to say, rain is on the way, and a good bit of it by the time we head into the afternoon and evening hours of Sunday. Now, that energy gets lagged down here towards Mexico, but a big full latitude ridge and trough setting up here, and that's a good bit of energy coming southward, and still getting some of this coming off of this system as well. So we're going to kind of get a sandwiching effect here as this system lifts out of here on Monday, and cold air is going to be rushing in on the backside of this. That's the look on Monday morning, 8 a.m., and you see the 540 thickness line starting to edge into the state, low pressure developing offshore. Now, this is what the Canadian and the European have been painting the last 3-4 days. The GFS just hopped on board today. Showing this. And, earlier this week we were talking about this elongated system, then it didn't have it at all, and now the GFS really coming on board with this next system developing, and you see that cold air wrapping around on the back side of that thing. Ooh-wee. And we're expecting falling temperatures on Monday as well. I wouldn't be surprised that day if we started off at 50 degrees and ended up somewhere in the 30s by the time you head into the latter half of the day. That's a look at the European. We're warm on the European to start. Now, that cold air does start to wrap back in here. You see the 540 line edging in here by the time we head into the evening hours, and that's going to drop the temperatures. So once again, I'm not saying that it will, but there is that potential if the temperatures are tanking on Tuesday. We go from a rain to possibly even a wintry mixed setup. It's not in the forecast right now, but we are watching that closely. We're getting a little bit better confidence as we're getting closer to time, but just the timing of everything still has to match up, and it's just not that great right now. The confidence is still low, but we've been talking about this potential for quite a few days now, and just kind of seeing the trends. And with that falling temperature on Monday, it's possible. Now, by the time we head towards Tuesday, everything's lifting out of here. I still think that we'll go with partly cloudy skies, high pressure building back in here, highs back in the low 50s. You see the 540 line already making its retreat northward. It's going to take a little while for those temperatures to come up, but we will make it back to the low 50s by the time we head into Tuesday afternoon. Then we head out towards Wednesday, and the GFS is dry. It has this system well up to the north. The Canadian's the one that's really showing the chance for rain as we head towards Wednesday. The European has a little bit of QPF trying to sneak in there during the afternoon hours, so we'll make the mention for maybe a stray shower or two, highs in the low 60s. And to the end of the forecast period, another system starting to get active back over here towards the west, 1001 low developing over central Oklahoma, north central Oklahoma, on next Thursday. So once again, the southern branch of the jet really starting to get a little more active. You see the system here that would be kicking that off, another piece of energy coming through the Pacific Northwest, and more cold air all kind of looming off towards the north. But at this point, we'd be warm on the as we head towards next Thursday on the GFS. Now, the European's a little colder with this look, but needless to say, we're not going to be sticking around with long periods of spring anytime soon. That'll do it for me here on the ENC Weather Update. You can stay up to date with us Facebook, Twitter, WNCT.com, and our brand new Storm Team 9 app in the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store. Have a great rest of your evening. Stay safe out there this evening and stay warm tomorrow. Even though there's going to be sunshine abound, you're still going to need to bundle up heading out to the bus stop and heading to work tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day.